Hi, good morning all. This is your trainer Avnish. So, just a brief introduction about myself. So, this is Avnish, and I have been in this industry for the last 20 years and have worked on various versions of Dynamics. Okay, right from 3.0 or since it was born to now the latest version, right? And have worked on all these versions, so got so many I have seen so many changes in this thing, in this technology, and now I have seen how the things have been transformed from on-premise or application based to cloud based, right? So, and also, like we will be talking about the technical part only here, because this will be a purely technical session. Okay, so and then the syllabus is also for technical only, right? So let's start the session. Yeah. D365 finance and operations, right? So this is the Dynamics 365 finance and operations, right? So any idea, anyone of you having idea about this product, or anyone having worked on this or in prior versions? Hello?
I haven't worked on this.
Okay,
No idea about it.
okay, okay, fine. Okay. Basically, it is an ERP, right? It is an ERP, right? ERP, that is Enterprise Resource Planning. We have several ERPs, right? Like Oracle apps, SAP, Navision. Earlier it was Navision. Now it is Business Central, Dynamics 365. Earlier it was Dynamics AX, right? So basically, what is an ERP? It is an integrated, set of solutions. It is an application where solutions or applications are integrated, right? Like you will find everything right from. Let me show you one thing. Just I have a PPT prepared for you. So let's quickly have a look and on the PPT, and we'll. Okay, so let me share the PPT first. Okay, so we'll have a quick look on this, right? An overview. Those maybe someone of you would not be from the ERP background, or someone would be having this ERP background, but still, we'll just quickly go through the slides, a quick introduction, right? So the agenda will be introduction to ERP. What is D365 for finance and operations, development environment, tools for development and concepts of extensions, right? So basically it is a process of managing all the resources, business functions, right? And use they're in an enterprise, entire enterprise in a coordinated manner, right? And set of integrated business applications or modules which carry out common business functions such as general ledger, sales, forecasting. Means everything is available in Dynamics itself, right from managing the ledger to accounts to sales, purchase, sales forecasting, HR, everything. So all the resources are available inside Dynamics itself. So it is a robust product, right? And what makes it different? Integrated modules, purchase, sales modules, financial module, everything is integrated. And especially finance module, everything, sales, purchase, inventory, everything is binded or linked or integrated with finance module, because everything, when you do some sales or some purchasing or inventory movement or something like that, everything has a cost. Even your resources, the employees, okay, these have a cost, right? So these impact the financial books of the company, right? So these are tightly coupled or integrated with finance, right? It has common database, sales, purchase, everything is stored in the same database, right? And the basic thing is modularization. Modularization means we have different modules like sales, purchase. So all the sales related processes or reports or functions will be available in a in the sales module, right? For purchase, we have a different module where the purchase related functionalities, functions, processes, definitions, setups, configurations, reports, okay, batches, these all will be available inside purchase module. Same with inventory. So basically these are categorization, so you don't need to bother about where, if you want to see the run the sales process or sales related things, you will find in a single place, right? You don't have to search in the throughout the entire application. It will be available or categorized on in one module, right? Module wise uh, categorization is there, so it's easier to use. At one place you will find all the things related to your department or your work or your nature of work, right? And as it is available in a single place only, so everything is will be available there. So no need, or there is very minimal chances of data loss or some inconsistency, right? Now see, this is the finance. As you see, finance is at the center, and rest all of the modules, HR, purchase, sales and marketing, manufacturing, inventory management, production, some other thing, all these are integrated with finance. So the core of this application is finance. So the first, whenever you go for a new implementation, the very first, that from functional point of view, the first thing that the functional will do, have to configure finance, right? That is a chart of, starting from chart of accounts, like which to configure all the ledger accounts. Like whenever you do something, do some transaction, some financial entries are getting created, right? So for those entries, there are ledger accounts, right? Some ledger account is getting hit. So for that, it has to be created first, right? Now, why we need ERP? Okay, you see, each department has their own IT system earlier, right? Those are not integrated. If purchase department needs some data from the sales department, they have to access or go to the sales department, right? What they'll do, whatever they ask for, maybe the data is not available, because sales department will maintain the data in their format, whatever is required from their side. Why they will care about others, right? Same way with purchase department. So it is vice versa, right? Data are mutually exclusive or not, or the programmer, or maybe purchase you are developing, you are using an application from vendor A, and for sales it could be like you will be using application of vendor B, and that also those are written in different technologies, right? Those could be in different technologies, and they need to be integrated. Then that again is a big pain and a challenge. Maybe some of the features that are required by sales department would not be available, or sales purchase department won't be able to provide, because they don't maintain their and those functionalities are doesn't required by them. Okay, so why they will maintain such information? Why they will increase their overheads, right? So that is why here these applications are scattered. They don't talk to each other. Okay, sharing data between systems becomes a clumsy task. Okay, it's a very tough task, right? Integration issues could be data loss also, data duplicacy, data inconsistency, right? Isolated decision leading to overall inefficiency, because data is not present at one place. Okay, then of course it is obvious that decision making will also get affected. Increased expense, you have to maintain. For each application you need dedicated resources, right, or skills, uh, person having a skill set of the technology in which both in which the applications are being developed, right? If there are two different technologies, okay, then you need to hire a person of having skill in both the technologies, right? Either one person is if that person has the knowledge of both the technologies, then one person is enough. Okay, but it rarely happens, right? So like a person having experience in dynamics have knowledge about SAP, right? Same with SAP person, correct? From functional point of view, that is fine. Core of ERP or functionality or account remain same, yeah, but as far as technical is concerned, right, the table structure and some other things, all the things, the technology, the way the code is being written, the facilities or the resources, right, the language a particular application provides could be different, right? So that is why cost gets increased, and of course you have to maintain all the applications, right? So it will become a costly affair. In Dynamics, when you use a single application, a single person or a person having skill set of Dynamics only is enough, right? But for when there are different technologies being used, so you need to have people having expertise in all these languages or technologies, right? So these are the drawbacks of isolated applications, right, or non integrated applications, right? Okay, so this is the definition again, right? Now Dynamics 365 you can access anywhere. Here in Dynamics there is a concept, in any of the ERPs there is a concept of companies, right? So companies, you can maintain multiple companies in Dynamics. Cross company data can be accessed. It can be accessed anywhere. Doesn't matter where you are. You are using a public laptop or your own laptop or your personal laptop or your office laptop. Okay, doesn't matter anywhere, because this is accessed through browser. Okay, has multi language, multi country, multi currency capabilities. Now what is this? Multi language means the multilingual, right? Labels, like whatever I see here, this is in pure English, correct? Now a person sitting in France, okay, that person is not aware of English. That person wants this material to be displayed in French. For him, it will be easier, right? So what you'll do, there is a support for language. So when you change the language, all the labels, but you have, see, standard is fine, standard application. But when you're doing some customization, and if you have added some field, right? In that case, you can specify, like when the user selects this French language, the label will be displayed, or the user interface will be displayed in French. So that can be maintained, right? Multi-country and multi-currency. Why multi-country? ERP is the same. So why multi-country? What this multi-country feature will do? It gives the flexibility to have see, because each country has its own rules and regulations, taxation systems, right? So this product has the capability to give the functionality, or it has already inbuilt functionality for company specific features. Like in India, we have GST. Few countries use GST, right? Most of the countries use VAT, right? So it is not like if you have to implement for India, you have to write a GST code. No, it is already there. The thing is, you just select the country, and country specific features, compliances, rules will be applicable. So these already have been written. If you select USA, if your country is USA, there are certain rules, certain regulations, certain compliances that are mandatory in, or that are being followed in USA, right? So the moment you change your country to USA, all the USA country specific features will be available, or will start working. So this multi-language, multi-country, and multi-currency, each country has their own currency, right? The thing is, they have exchange rates, right? So just provide the exchange rate, so you can perform or use the transaction in multiple currencies using the exchange rates, right? So these all the features are, or these are the capabilities of D365 and benefits, its benefits, right? Two types of implementations are there. One is cloud based, for which you have, which is hosted on Azure, and you have to pay the subscription fees for that. Another is on premise, but on premise rarely is being used, right? Because it does not provide, there are so many limitations. Okay, some features that are enabled on cloud only, you won't be getting on in on-premise implementation. Another thing, in on-premise application, okay, the maintenance will be your responsibility. But when you go to cloud-based implementation, it will be the responsibility, the maintenance, the data center, okay, everything will be the responsibility of Microsoft. So just you will become a tenant for them, and the name also is tenant, right? So first you have to create a tenant account with Microsoft, sign an agreement, and then go for cloud-based environment. Okay, so you'll just pay the rent and start using the servers. So you don't need to build your own data servers or own networking and every another things, right? Everything will be done by Microsoft itself. Just pay the rent, pay as you go. Pay as you go means, and there are several facilities, functionalities. You just pay for them, start using them at the same time. Okay. If you don't want to use some features, just don't pay for that. So pay as you go. Whatever you pay for, you will start using that thing instantly, right? And these are maintained through Microsoft Life Cycle Services, that is called LCS as well. And we can purchase it through MS partners only. No direct sales through MS. You cannot purchase directly from Microsoft directly. Okay. For an implementation, you have to select a partner, okay, through bidding or something. Okay. And then sometimes Microsoft also gives some lead when you contact Microsoft. Like you are interested in going for this product. Okay. They'll give you some lead, and you can for some partners, and you can contact those partners. Okay, and once things goes fine or gets matured, the deal gets matured, you can go ahead with the implementation, right? Okay, leave it. I'll show you directly in the environment itself. Question and answer. So any questions so far, guys? So once this slide will complete, we'll go to the technical part. This is just an overview about ERP. Okay, so let's move further. Development environment. The development environment is Visual Studio. I'll show you in a while, right? And it is deployed on the through LCS to the other environments. Other environments means UAT and this thing, live production, right? Model. It is model based, right? It is model based development. So model we will be covering. This is purely technical. Okay, just for your knowledge, like whatever you do the customizations, it will be in a model, and everything that comes as it is a product. So everything is pre-built, pre-configured, like basic functionalities are already available there for sales, purchase, inventory, finance, everything. Whatever is being used in the industry across the globe, that is already available there. On top of that, because every company follows a different practice for their to run their business in accounting itself. Okay, there are of course they have to follow the principle of accounting or principle of sales or purchase won't change, right? But there are certain other steps or processes that they are follow that every company inside a country itself, in a single country, each company, the way they follow their process could be different, right? So there comes the role of customization, as the basic functionality used across the globe is already available there in Dynamics. But if a client says like apart from this, first of all, I go a basic example is like preparing a sales order, okay, or purchase order, raising a purchase order, right? In Dynamics, you can raise purchase order directly, but some client will say like, or before raising purchase or invoicing a purchase order, I need approval process to be implemented. So in that case, this is a customization because this is not part of the standard product, right? You have to, or in other processes also, say in sales also, they want a workflow. This is a very simple example or basic example. So basic sales process is already there, but workflow they want, right? So for that, you need to do the customizations. Correct. So what you will do, you will create a model and all the objects, custom objects will reside in your model. Similarly, the standard process, these are also grouped together in a model. Those are uh, Microsoft models come as a package in your environment, right? Now package, deployable package means once you do the development, you need to deploy it to UAT and then production. So these are the solution is packaged together and deployed as a package on the in the environments. And what the application explorer, I mean, what are the technical things that are being used in this product? Tables, views, queries, data entities, maps, classes, forms. These construct the application explorer, or these are the technical things purely. Whatever you see in your screen, everything technically is being part of any of these. If you store data, it must be a table, right? If you write up, suppose posting routine, obviously it will be a class, right? To display or the user interface, it will be forms, right? Reports for reporting purposes, right? So these are the technical things that we will be developing, and as a technical person, these things will be you will be making developing these things or making changes in these things, right? This is how it looks like when I say this application explorer. This is your application explorer, right? You can see like all the data types, all the inside data type there are something data model, these contain something. When you expand this node, I'll show you in a while. So everything is grouped together. So if you develop a form, all the forms, whether standard or custom, will be available inside this user interface only, not at any other place. Okay, so you don't need to bother like, oh, I have created form, where can I find it? Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, just leave this thing, the views, I'll show you. This is, you can see, this is the designer and this is its respective code. If you open something, you can see the code window like this. Okay, and yeah, and you can see as everything is controlled through Azure, so you have to first of all you have to take license of Microsoft Office 365. Okay, the subscription. Okay, and then it will be Azure directory. All the users, you will be creating an Azure Active Directory, and from here you can decide like which user will have access to D365 application, right? So here users, there could be multiple users, but only few users. Not all the users will be Dynamics user, right? So from here you will decide, or you will import, or you will grant access to the users that are using Dynamics, right? That will have access to the Dynamics application. This is how the earlier version looked like, and this is the newer version. You see here again same thing, but in a different way, right? This is AX 2012. This is D365, right? Now let me show you. Okay. So basic things. First of all, will be knowing about its previous versions. So it started from AX, or the first name of Dynamics was Axapta. Okay, the version that I know is the first version that I know is 2.5. Then came Axapta 3.0, right? So there was a company called DamGuard. It was which country? From Denmark. Okay, so this product was being built by DamGuard. Okay, from Denmark, right? The country was Denmark. So they built Axapta. After that, after 3.0, this product was, acquired by Microsoft, right? So they changed its name and renamed it as Microsoft Dynamics 4.0, right? Then Dynamics AX. Then come 2009, then 2012. So the last product was 2012. Earlier in 2012, there was, four versions, right? The first was feature pack. The first release was feature pack. Then came R1, R2, R3. R3 was the last release, last version of Dynamics. After that, there is no further version of Dynamics. Okay. Then came Dynamics 365, F&O, Finance and Operations. Okay. So even Microsoft has stopped providing support for R3 now. Okay. It was Dynamics AX 2012 feature pack, right? After that, when this product was launched, I think its name was initial name was Rainier, then AX 7.0, then came Dynamics 365 F&O, right? Now it had its own development environment, that is IDE. It was MorphX, right? Now in till this version it was MorphX, but now in D365 the development environment or IDE is Visual Studio, right? So everything is being developed in Visual Studio. This is the IDE, application development integrated development environment, in which you will be doing your work, your customizations, right? So this was about the Dynamics family, right? The family tree, how it evolved right from Axapta 2.5 to Dynamics 365 F&O. During this transition or transformation, so many changes have been done. Like if we say about 2.0, integration was a difficult task. Then here in 4.0, it was a bit improved, right? But again, it had its own their own challenges. And at that time, when this product was being used, say after before 20 or 25 years back, okay, even on internet, not so many resources were available. Even if you search for something, you won't be find up. You won't be able to find some relevant link or relevant information. So very few information. Some people I know, they have been in Dynamics since long, so they had their own blogs. So at that also were having too limited information. So the moment we have started working in Dynamics, okay, so at that time, no, we could not expect much from internet, right? So whatever we did is by using our own R&D, by looking into the code itself. Because see, this is a product. When I ask you to create a dialog, okay, on the internet at that time, there was no such code for dialog. I mean, maybe there could be, but very few code would be there, were there, right? And sometimes you may be, if you are not finding it properly, you won't be able to get the proper result. Then how to write a dialog then? If I have not worked on dialog, because if I work in something or if you work in some technology, it doesn't mean you know each and everything. You have worked in each and every area, right? So something you have to explore. Okay. So whatever is being asked to do, a similar functionality would already exist in Dynamics somewhere. The only thing is how you get the path to reach that place. You have to create your path. Okay, so we did lots of explorations, exploring the code, finding the places, get inside the code, and then we used to get the example, and that by using that example we used to write codes. But nowadays everything is available, right? If you just write something like how to integrate dynamic with SFTP, you will get thousands of resources. But at that time, these were not available. Okay, so very limited resources were there. Now, so because whenever you come with a new product, new features, and whatever is being, something that was not handled in the previous version, or there are some enhancements, right? New version always comes with some enhancements. So in 4.0, it was a bit easier for integrate, but not that too much, right? And again, there was a lack of resources in the dynamic on internet, right? Then came 2009, okay. Then AX 2012. So it had a different architecture with all these, right? Till here, the files or the applications were stored in a file format called AOD files, okay. The application, the codes, right? These were stored in files, and there were concept of layers. In 2012, it was totally moved, right? Now this structure got changed totally. Instead of storing the application in the form of files, okay, these are being, I mean, there was a new concept like a separate database, because see, this has got two databases. First is the transaction database, where you will be doing your transaction, you will be storing your data, right? Data means the sales, purchase, whatever activities you do. Of course, these will have some database, right? So these will be stored in transactional database. Apart from this, one new database was there which contained the application. So the major change was here the application, there was only one database, that was transactional database only. Here we had two databases. The first one is application. I mean, here the application in 2009 or till 2009, the application was stored in the format of file. In 2012, the application was stored in the form inside database, was stored in database, right? So this was a major change, major architectural change, right? And it is obvious that transaction database will be there only, right? It will be in the database. There is no other option, right? So it had two databases. Earlier versions had only one database. Okay. Here, applications were stored in format of files, AOD files. Here, application is stored in database only. A separate database is being created, right? Now here, till 2009, reporting tool was inbuilt, right? There was a report development tool, okay, or report designer, which was its inbuilt feature in 2009, right? So it was legacy reports. You don't need Visual Studio or any other tool to develop a report. But in 2012, okay, here also you could have your native reports as well as SSRS reports, but developing SSRS report was very much difficult, not too much supportive, right? But in 2012, it was totally transformed. Okay, although legacy reporting was there, but the standard reports came in the form of SSRS only. So it had a quite, for development, okay, purpose. Still, you had this ID, that is MOFAX IDE, that was MOFAX, but for reporting purposes, it was integrated with Visual Studio. So you can create your SSRS report in Visual Studio, right? In 2012. Now In 365, there is no other option left. The only reporting tool that is available is SSRS. And the development environment, it is in Visual Studio only. So your code, your forms, your tables, everything is that you create will be done in Visual Studio, and reports as well. Designer and everything is there in SSRS. And you know, SSRS is a generic tool, not limited with Dynamics itself. It can be connected through .NET. It can be connected from anywhere, call from any of the languages, right? That is compatible with this SSRS. Okay, doesn't mean you matter you call it from a .NET code, C Sharp, Visual C++, or any other language, or Dynamics, right? Or any other thing like maybe Navision, that is Business Central, or CRM, anywhere. Okay, so this becomes a common platform. So what I have heard is now all the IDs will be discarded. The only ID that will be available is Visual Studio. So everything will be done in Visual Studio only for all of the technologies, Microsoft technologies and applications, right? So this was about the introduction about its family, right? And now there are so many enhancements, so many features have been done. In previous version, you need to access Dynamics, you need to have uh, uh, a client. Okay, so Dynamics AX 2009 client, okay, to access the server. But here it is not like that. Okay, that was desktop version, so you could access from desktop only. But this is not a desktop version. This is cloud version, right? So you can access from anywhere. No any client is required. Okay, it can be accessed through browser. So from any machine, any laptop, any desktop. The condition is the internet should be working there. That's it, right? So it can be accessed from anywhere. So this is a even from your mobile phone through Android application, right? So this is a major transformation and major benefit of using this Dynamics application. That is a cloud-based environment, right? Now coming to this, you people might be waiting for this to unveil the technical area. So here you can see this is how this the AOT, this is called application object tree or application explorer. So all the things, all the forms, right? Forms, tables, reports, whatever you do, this is the playground for technical person. So whatever you see in the user interface, whether you run a report or you run a class or you run a form or button click or store data, create data, delete data, everything, the element behind it is stored in these things. Like code contains all the classes. These are the classes, okay, and it has, okay, it will take some, yes, these are the classes. So right click it, view code, it's loading. Yeah, you can see all the codes here, right? Tables to store data, right? Tables are used to store data in the database, right? You will find all the tables here. Either it is custom or standard tables, because see, whatever you see here, all these things are come along as a package because this is a product. So these are Microsoft objects or standard objects. For we generally we use these terms as standard objects. So from where the standard objects come? The standard object come from shipped with Microsoft only. When you take this product, okay, these features, as I told you, everything, sales, purchase, production, HR, finance, everything is already present in Dynamics. So for all these things in the vanilla product, vanilla means Microsoft product without any change, the standard product, right? So obviously when you create these things, okay, when this feature is already there, obviously there would be some classes, some tables, objects, right? So where those objects will reside, these will be present in Dynamics, in Visual Studio, right? So these are the standard objects shipped with this product. Okay, these are not custom objects, these are standard objects. On top of this, suppose this table, okay, it has got 10 fields. Now you are using this table somewhere, right, in the standard product itself. Now they'll say like, the customer will say like, I want 2 additional fields to store some additional information in this table. Then there comes the role of customization. What you will do, you will create an extension. Okay, I forgot to tell extension also, like here, uh, regarding this, when I was explaining this, the concept of previous versions and the current version. So I'll tell you what exactly the extension is, right? Okay, so if they want additional fields, what you will be doing, you will be creating an extension of this object and add 2 extra fields there based on the size, field size they will say, or the type, like what kind of information they want to store, like maybe date of birth or some date information, or string, or some numeric value. Okay, so that the client or the user will tell you, and based upon the requirement, you have to create the fields accordingly, right? So these are the tables, and that is customization. Code, user interfaces, these are forms, right? So whatever you see in the user interface, when you run the application through browser, okay, when you click some, open some link, form gets opened. These come from here. So all the forms, custom or standard, will be available inside here. There are other things also in the user interface, like menus. Menus again is the modules which we talked in the very earlier discussion, right? Modules, categorization, like sales, purchase, accounts receivable. For sales, we use the term accounts receivable. For purchase, accounts payable, right? So all the screens, all the features, all the functionalities, all the processes, all the reports related to setups, configurations related to a particular module will be available inside a particular menu. So you can say it's not exactly the same, but you can say one module equal to one menu. It's one-to-one mapping. Not exactly, but for better and or easier understanding, you can think like this way. Okay. Now here you can see, for everything, you see we have every node we have a corresponding extensions node, right? Menu extensions, menu items, menu item extensions, say data types extension, data model, table extensions, view extensions, query extensions. For everything, not for everything, but almost for everything, there are extensions. So what are extensions? See, the development is quite different in here in D365. In its ancestors version, previous versions, Microsoft allowed to make changes in the base object itself. Suppose a table that has been, means if I give example of this table, any of the tables, say for this table only, okay, say view designer, right? If you see, this table contains these many fields, right? Now the client asks for some additional field, and previous version allowed to create the fields directly in this table. So what you are altering or modifying, actually you are modifying the standard object itself. Okay, but it is not like that in D365. You cannot modify any standard object that is the part of the standard product or that has been shipped with Microsoft. right? With this application, with this product. Instead, you need to create a different object that is an extension of the table or extension of the form or menus or menu items or queries. Okay, so you need to create extension, and the fields will be added in that extension only, so that the standard object will remain intact, right? What is the benefit? There are two major benefits. The first is, suppose in future or after few days, if Microsoft releases some enhancements or some does some bug fix, okay, or release a new service pack. In simple words, a new platform update, not service pack. If they provide some update, right? Okay. Now, suppose in this table they have done some changes, right? Because Microsoft is not aware about your customization, because this product is being used by thousands of partners, right? And customers. Every customer or partner could have their own changes, right? Own customization, right? So Microsoft is not aware about your changes, whatever you have done with this table or with this object. Suppose in the update there was some modification in this object. If you would have modified this object directly like previous versions, then there will be update conflict, right? Because initially it had only, see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, only 8. It has 8 fields. You added 2 more fields. Now in the next update, Microsoft added 2 more fields, right? So standard objects we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. These 8 fields are standard fields, part of standard product. Okay, you added 2 more fields. It became 12, right? Now, sorry, 8. This is 8. The count is 8. You added 2 more fields. The count became 10, right? Now, in the next release, what they have done, they have added 2 more fields here. Now the total field becomes 12. But Microsoft is not aware of your changes, right? So what it will do, when you apply the update, it will override your object, right? So your 2 fields will no more be available, and there will be conflict, right? And you have to resolve the conflict manually, because how Microsoft will know about your changes, right? It will be overridden. Whichever object you have modifications in, and Microsoft has also modified the same object, your object will be overridden. It will overwrite. So your changes will be gone. So you have to find that and will go into conflict. So you have to go and resolve the conflicts manually. So that is why they have introduced this one extension framework, in which you won't be disturbing or maintaining or changing or making any modifications in the standard object. Okay, the standard object will remain intact. Okay, so even though Microsoft does some changes in a particular update, okay, even this table will be overwritten, your changes will be there. Why? Because your changes are stored in a different place in extension, in a different file. Correct. Another benefit, so this is one of the benefits that really, because I have seen, okay, whenever a new update was released, we have our workload increased. Okay, we have to resolve the conflicts, because the functionality suddenly stop working, your custom functionalities. You won't be able to find the form. You'll encounter so many errors while compiling the application. So now this has been controlled to a certain extent, right? Another thing, as you have, everything is being stored in a different place, different file. Okay, so when you when you have to deploy the changes to dynamic to the UAT environment only, okay, in that case, when you create the deployable package, only the custom objects will be moved, will be the part of the package, not the standard object, right? Standard object means, suppose we have say 10,000 tables and I have added some 10 tables only, or some 10 objects, okay? So only 10, because the standard product will already be there in the UAT and live, right? Then why to resend this? Why to increase the overhead? Why to increase the time? Why not to send only those objects that are custom? Because standard, whatever standard is version we are using here, the same version would be there in UAT as well. From that, where that version is running, right? Of course, it will have its application objects installed there, right? Available there. Correct. So in this case, what we do, we create a package, and that package contains only the custom objects, and it really reduces the time, downtime, and the package deployment time. Earlier it took hours. Now it takes, the deployment is being done in minutes, right? And I can show you the architecture where the files are getting stored. Whatever you do, okay, the structure is like there is a folder AOS service, inside packages local directory. Okay, these are the models, standard models, right? And if you say application, say common, okay, class. If I say about class, the classes or everything, class, form, table, report, data types, everything is stored in the form of XML files in your local drive, in your development environment, right? I can show you the class as well. Open with Notepad. Whatever you see here, view code. If you see, this is the code, right? This is the code for the table. Accountant BR, right? Let me open this. X tables. Table. In which model it is? It is inside fiscal books, right? Fiscal books. Fiscal books. Accountant BR, right? Notepad. When you open this class here, actually you are opening an XML file, which is stored in your repository, in your local drive, right? So you can see XML tags are there, but here those tags are not there, right? Like public void, this is summary, this is different thing, but if you see modified field, right? Search for modified field. It will be somewhere. Let me check. Modified field. See, this is how it is getting stored. Modified field, right? These are the field groups or fields, right? These are stored as, you see, fields stored as XML tags. But actually, when you see here, view designer, right here, whatever you see here, these are actually stored in this format, in your XML file. So when you open a particular object, okay, the corresponding XML file is getting picked, interpreted, the tags are being interpreted and will be appear like a code here in this format. Okay, so this is really a very interesting product. When you work on this, you will find like I mean uh, so many, especially when it comes, because there is a part called integration, right? So when it comes to integration, you will really find it like, okay, because see, normally working here is a different thing, but integrating two different technologies, okay, you'll find interesting. And this is part of the syllabus as well. When I cover integration, I'll show you how you can send data from different application and the data will be created in Dynamics, or you can fetch data from Dynamics into third-party application. This is actually integration. And the concept of extension is also very interesting. Okay, guys. So this was all about Dynamics 365 from my side. So if you have any queries or if you like to ask something, please go ahead. I'll try to answer your queries as far as possible. Yeah, please.
Hey, Abhi, so I think how do we set up this dynamics in our site, or is there
Yeah,
anything we need to?
yeah, yeah. There are two things. Okay, two ways. The first one is through uh, there is a platform called Learn, Microsoft Learn. Okay, so there they provide, that is a free version. Okay, I have not tried this for a long time, but earlier when I didn't have my VSD, virtual hard disk drive. At that time, I used to have this thing, the Learn platform only. So it was a free version. Okay, where you can it provides access to 2 hours. Okay, after 2 hours time is elapsed, the server will shut down. You need to restart and then start working. So it was totally free. It gives you a window of 2 hours only. After every 2 hours, you have to save your work, save it on your virtual hard sorry OneDrive or somewhere else, some other place, and then next time, just after the expiration, you can re-log in and you can import your changes from your hard drive or your OneDrive, and then import the changes in Visual Studio and start working from wherever you have left. Another thing is you need to download VSD, but for that you need a Microsoft account. Okay, you need to be a tenant. Okay, and from there you will get access to download this virtual hard disk. Okay, VSD files. Now extract the files. There are some 5 or 6 files are there, zip files. You need to extract those files, and you can, if you have a laptop having good configuration, means the basic requirement is say 16 GB RAM, at least a 400 GB. I won't say 400. If it is 300 is enough, but the size gets increased or it takes memory from your local hard drive as well. So if it has 400 GB free hard disk space, that is fine. Okay, 16 GB RAM. Windows Enterprise or Professional Edition would be there to run. Why? Because these versions have Hyper-V Manager installed, a feature of Hyper-V Manager. But even I am not using Professional Edition, I am using Home Edition, right? So Home Edition doesn't support this thing, the virtualization in the sense Hyper-V Manager. But there are ways, there is a workaround, there is a command, okay, that you can run, and you can run and it will install Hyper-V Manager in your Home Edition as well. So I'm using Home Edition only, running my VSD on Home Edition. Okay, so I think I answered your query, right?
Yeah, yeah, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
So, hi, I'm Sadiq. I added few questions in the chat.
Okay, in the chat, how many sessions will you cover project related scenarios from your experience? Will you be able to give us some time if we doing our scenarios. See, how many sessions means basically it is 40 hours session, right? So every day there will be 1 hour session, okay? And it's not 40 hours, it could increase because see, generally it is fixed, right? Like 40 hours only as a general conception, right? But generally what I do is my session always go beyond this 40 hours timeline. So sometimes 45 hours also, sometimes 50 hours also. So time is not a constraint. Okay. Where will we will be covering, even if it increases, the 40 hours is increases, that is fine. 45, 46, 50, that is fine. I can go with that, right? So don't worry about the number of sessions. The thing is, because something from my experience that I feel programmers or developers should know. I focus more on that because I know I have been part of this industry and I have been working this industry for so long because I started my career in Dynamics itself. Only the first 3 4 years were in a different technology, but from there onwards, I'm purely in Dynamics, right? So I know from my experience, like from a programmer perspective, what topic or which object is more the programmer should know more about that and what is most important. So I generally focus on those topics, those objects, okay, those important things. I'll take some extra session also for those, like tables. The backbone is the table, right? Right, data is stored in the tables itself. Fine. Now, if you don't know how to structure your table or what are the properties of, see, main properties, basic properties that you need to follow. Okay, because advanced, there are so many properties, but I'll tell about the basic or the commonly used properties. Okay, that you should know about, right? Because if you go to cover advanced topics, then everything has got hundreds of properties. So not all the 100 properties will be covered, right? It is not possible because it will take another 1 year to complete this session if we go properties by properties. So this will be a basic introductory session regarding X++ and how to write, how to create tables, and basically how to structure tables. Integration also, but integration also I'll show you live by integrating. There is a tool called Postman. Okay, that is a third-party application. So from there you can be creating integration routines, right? And coming to your another question, like, will you cover project-related scenarios from your experience? See, if I give project-related information, the project is huge. So from the basic things, from I'll teach about, or we'll take an example of a scenario where we will be having some 8 or 10 tables, right? Because a project takes time, years to develop or months to develop, right? So that is not possible, but from there, whatever scenario I can create, I will create for you, and we will be having we'll carry forward these scenarios right from development of tables, forms to creating reports for those objects, right? And will you be able to give us some time if we doing our scenarios? I don't understand this query. Can you please elaborate about this one? Hello, Sadiq?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So your query is like, will you be able to give us some time if we doing our scenarios? So I didn't get your point.
So this is like, as you said, like you will be explaining the integration like Postman. So if we doing like we pick some application and we
Hmm.
try to do integration with that application, and if we
Right.
have some specific question which might not be common to the other people, so will you be able to give 5-10 extra minute like before session,
Yes,
after
yes, that is
session?
fine. If you are, see, while you are developing, okay, while you are doing your practice at your end, if you stuck somewhere, you don't get any idea, right, what to do next, you can ask me, you can raise your questions.
So I'm saying like that might not be like specific to what we're doing. For instance, you explained us the postman, but
Hmm.
I pick one application. For example, I'm trying to connect Dynamics 365 with FedEx or UPS using the
No, so
postman.
see, because I am not aware of those technologies, because every application has its own functionalities, right? Own way of connecting, own way of APIs or and other things, right? So I'm not
No, no, I'm
aware
not
of
saying
those
that.
things.
No, no,
Hmm.
I don't mean that. So I'm saying like if in Dynamics we need some help, we need to discuss something. So we will be
Yes, of
able to have
course,
that
yes,
opportunity.
yes, because every person will have their own queries, right? On doubt,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So that can be covered.
Okay, okay,
Yeah. And no, for MB 500 certification, it will not cover this uh, in this session. So we
okay.
will
So
be
what
not
if
talking.
we like preparing ourselves, and if there is a question or there is some confusion, can we ask that to you?
Yeah, but see, only syllabus related, whatever we will be discussing here. But yes, common queries also you can ask. See, what I said is I'll try to answer as far as possible. Okay,
No, I'm saying
because
like
see,
if
because
I need
scenario
five
means,
minute extra, so you will be able to give us maybe at the end, at the beginning.
yeah, 5-10 minutes is not an issue.
Okay, so that's I'm saying.
Yeah, 5-10 minutes is not an issue. But generally, if you ask about a particular scenario, maybe I won't be able to answer that, because if I don't visualize, I don't see the scenario where you have stuck, it will be difficult for me to answer. But yes, I can give you an idea. Like if you are stuck in the middle of something conceptually or technically, if I understand the case, I will be able to. I'll try to answer your queries.
Okay, okay, I get it. Thank you.
Yeah,
So classes will be daily or it's on alternate days?
it will be daily.
The same time?
It will be from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. IST.
8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Yeah. And
Okay.
better check with the moderator for more details regarding the, because we will be talking about technical things only. Rest of the thing you can check with the moderator, right?
And can you give us like once you teaching us some scenario or something, is it possible for you to give us some assignments or small projects so we can work on those?
Yes, I can give you, but the thing is, like whatever you see, okay, here, if you do the same thing at your end, then that will be more beneficial, right? If we take a scenario here, which we will be discussing, okay, in dynamics, like student admission, or say hotel room booking or something like that, right? So this is one of the scenarios that we will be discussing here, any of the scenarios, right? So that if you try to implement that, then I think that is more beneficial, right? You can add some functions. See, whatever we will be discussing, this will be a basic introduction and basic functionalities. On top of that, you can add your own things on the same thing. You can make some enhancement by thinking different scenarios in, or whatever scenarios come into your mind. If I had
Yeah, so
two
that
fields,
was
I
my
think,
question. Like if you
yeah,
exp build the foundation and on top of that foundation, if we
yeah,
create
you can
some,
add your case. Yeah, try think of some case and just
yeah,
start implementing, working on
and
that.
if we stuck somewhere, you're going to help us.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. And by the way, I'm Sadiq, and I have been working with the Dynamics 365 not for long. It's about 10 years. It's a big, huge application. And I'm
Yeah.
a functional. I'm a supply chain and finance. And before
Okay.
that, I worked on SAP for 5 years as a developer.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so SAP, I know the development, how to do, but this Dynamics, it's too weird. I'm struggling to understand and learn for the last maybe 2 years. I'm not
So
able to.
generally, what happens, like every technology has its own way of writing codes, right? Tables, even what I have heard is in SAP, even the table names are in German language, right?
Yes,
So,
it's
and the,
those are like in German, but their coding and then their framework and everything, it's quite intuitive and it's very easy. But this
maybe because
Dynamics
I'm
thing,
not aware of,
it's
I have not worked in SAP, so I don't have any experience about that. But yes,
well, you trust me.
actually, yeah, could be. But here we have a different framework, different architecture altogether because this is Microsoft product, right? So it
Yeah.
has a vast scope of integrity with because it mostly most of the products or devices, I mean, or in home houses as well, right? So people use this Microsoft Windows only. So people are familiar with the Windows products, right? So we have the habit of using Windows Microsoft products. So, and there are so many products, right? So these are, it's easier for integration.
Yeah.
Yes. So any other questions, guys? Okay. So, okay. So, let's wind up this session. And if you have any queries, further queries related to any admin issue or something, maybe for timings or any other thing or any kind of information you need or details, please contact with your moderator. He will be giving you the providing all these details regarding the timings and uh, everything, right? So that was all about from my side. Okay. So signing out now and have a nice day ahead to all of you. Okay. Have a wonderful weekend. Okay. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.